Hey, 10-minute daily reality check. You know what's great? Every single day I bring this little microphone with me, and right now I'm with my friend Arriane, and we're hanging out on the beach, right?
Yes.
And we were having this great conversation. I looked at her and I said, holy shit, we are going to talk about Disneyville right now. You know, Disneyville? So we're staring at the ocean, the beautiful Pacific Ocean, which really isn't that beautiful compared to the Atlantic. It's kind of mediocre, right? You know, this is actually a mediocre beach, Santa Monica Beach and Venice Beach and Marina del Rey Beach compared to like other beaches I go to. But hell, I'm not going to complain because I'm actually getting to stare at a beach. So Disneyville is where women go to all the time. It's a place of romantic, romantic fucking confusion. So this is what Disneyville is. A woman goes out with a guy. She knows that he's a well-educated, non-self-absorbed man, a guy that actually understands women, and she immediately goes to Disneyville. I see her instantly. After 2 hours on a date, I see her literally eyes start to look at me as Mickey, Goofy, Pluto, and everything else. I am now basically, Ariel's husband. She's basically Snow White. She's basically Ariel. And I watch her go into that, and I see her go into romantic land and think about forever. I now have become Mr. Forever. Okay? Now, so here's the way that I look at it. We were just talking about this. There's no such thing as forever. Death is forever. I know that, right? The ocean will continue to go on forever and ever, right? LA will forever have traffic, right? And men and women will forever be trying to figure each other out. So when a woman goes into Disneyville, I look at her and I say, hey, I'm very open to a relationship because I really am. I'm very open to a relationship and a partnership because, hell, fuck, I love it. Love is great. It's the greatest drug in the entire world. So let me go snort some oxytocin tomorrow. I mean, it's so much fun. Sex when you think you're in love is far better than sex when you're not in love, right?
Yes.
So when I look at her going to Disneyville, I look at her and I say this to her. You and I can't promise each other anything at all. Think about all the promises you've made other men over the course of your lifetime and what happened before it. So let's try something different in this relationship we're going to have, okay? We're going to have a daily relationship, and every day we're going to look at each other and we're going to stay present in our present. So we're going to talk about our feelings, we're going to talk about our emotions, we're going to talk about what we're doing, we're going to talk about how we're feeling, we're going to get stuff out, and we're going to enjoy one another, we're going to be present to one another. We're going to go to bed at night, we're going to hold each other tight, we're going to pass out, we're going to wake up, we're going to spoon in the morning, and we're going to continue this process. Every day we're going to be present for how we feel. That's the only way you ever get to forever.
100%. The only way to actually be in a relationship is to be present to what's happening right now. And how I explain it is I can be with you for 4 hours and have the most amazing, heart-opening, fantastic experience, and it could be just that. Or I could have 4 dates with you and it could be that, and that would be the most amazing, heart-opening experience. Or I could have 40 dates or 40 years. And who am I to know in the first date, second date, third date, whatever it is, how am I to know what the future holds? And what most women do, and probably men too, is they start running that fantasy future projection, and then it gets projected on the person in front of me. So then if I go into Fantasyland, into Disneyville, and I already start thinking about you and the next date, and the next date, and where we're going for Christmas, then I'm out of the present, and I'm all of a sudden, I don't even see you. All I see is what I desire of you, and then I see how can I manipulate you into being this man that I'm seeing, that I think I'm seeing, instead of just being present to what is.
See, what's interesting is that at the end of a first date, I've learned something, and this is something all you men listeners and all you women that listen, you're going to love this. At the end of a first date, I look at somebody and I tell them, I like you. I want to get to know you. We're hanging out again. And I end I don't want her to go on a trip to Neurotic Town. Because this is what happens, that if I don't say this, and if I say goodbye and I give her a little kiss on the lips or I give her a hug, and then I can send her straight to Neurotic Town, okay? If I don't text her at the right time the very next morning, and all of a sudden she's talking to her friends and she's reanalyzing the date, I don't want her to go to Neurotic Town. If I like her and I like who she is and I think she's a beautiful soul and a beautiful person, I want her to know that. At the end of that date, I will go, I am going to see you again. And immediately what happens is we stop dating and we start romancing each other. We're not going out on dates. We're not going out and watching each other chew food. She's inviting me over. We're watching a movie. We're hanging out. We're doing a barbecue. We're doing normal everyday stuff. We're taking a walk on the beach. We're not like all of a sudden like, all right, let's go meet at Cafe Gratitude. Then let's go to Gracias Madres. Then let's go here. It's like dating is so fucking boring, especially at the age that we're at. We shouldn't be dating anymore. We should be romancing each other, hanging out.
Absolutely, because in the hanging out and the getting out of the dating puts so many expectations on their relationship. It's like taking an actual human being. I always say, like, can I just be a human being with this person? Instead of when I start dating, that's when I get neurotic and I'm like, oh, what do I text back? And what do I say? And what do I wear? Instead of if it's a friend, if I'm hanging out with a friend in an experience just to have the experience, I'm just being me. But what we all do in dating is we start to put on these masks so that the other person will like us, so that we'll get what we want, what we think we need. And what the antidote to that is if there's no fear, if I have no fear of meeting someone and having this amazing experience and I have nothing to lose, then how do I show up differently? And that's for me been the freedom is just going, there's nothing to fear. I can open my heart to every single person I meet and experience and have great experiences. And if that is just that one night or 3 nights or 3 years or whatever it is, it's all for me. There's nothing against me here in dating. It's all for me and for my highest good. But it's hard to stay in that space because of all the messaging we've gotten through the years of you have to date and you have to get him to like you and you have to get the next date and you have to have the relationship. So it's really, for a woman, it's like combating all the messages that have told me to go to Disneyville for my whole life.
Okay, so we got to get out of Disneyville. Everybody's got to get out of Disneyville. So that's the whole thing. That's the reality right now. The reality is commit to one another. Go out on a date, see somebody that's interesting and say, I'm committing to you. I'm committing to get to know you. I do that all the time. If I like somebody, I go, I'm committing to get to know you. Why? Because I'm following a hunch. And immediately, it's like your guard goes down. You're not dating somebody, you're being with them. It's almost like when we were in our 20s, right? When in our 20s, we just kind of committed to like kind of hanging out and started fucking and having a good time. And the next thing you know, 30 days later, we'd look at each other and go, oh my God, you haven't slept at your house in like 2 weeks. And then like you would get into female land and go, should I stay at my house tomorrow night? No, we're good, right? You know, and now as we get older, we should take that trip more into Spontaneousville, into Presentville, because Disneyville fucks us up. Now, you said something interesting when we were walking, how easy it is for men to have you as a girlfriend. I was starting to crack up. Can you explain to all my male listeners just how fucking easy it is for a man to get a woman not only to sleep with him, but to have instant girlfriend, to have your back rubbed, to have your head rubbed, to have meals cooked for you, to barbecue together, to watch a fucking movie together, and to have lingerie in your house instead of just man underwears all over the place. So please explain it, because it was fucking brilliant.
It's so easy, and I think men do not understand. There's so many men and women who are so wanting to be in a relationship and wanting to have this girlfriend experience, and all you have to do is show up consistently. Like I always say, if you just show up and you take me on dates, experiences, whatever, if you're committed to getting to know me and you stay present and stay connected and stay just even lightly invested in me. It doesn't even have to be a ton. Like in this world, it's like lightly invested in me. I'm gonna sleep with you. I'll be your girlfriend. It is not hard. But I think everyone thinks that it's this, I don't know, you have to do, I don't know why it's so confusing, but I always say getting a boyfriend or girlfriend is the easiest thing on the planet because it's just being consistent. It's just showing up. Because like with a friend, you're just building a relationship. But somehow I think men think it's hard and think they have to do something different. And it's like, no, just call the woman a few times a week and say hello. Go have amazing experiences. She'll probably open her heart and be with you. It's kind of that simple.
Oh, it's called the 2-week process. I mean, it really is. I remember I was dating somebody a couple of years back, and I was driving around, and I decided to call her and share part of my day. And she texted me afterwards. She goes, that was so amazing. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, she's my girlfriend now. I mean, it really is that simple. It's like, it's commitment to one another. I mean, how many more fucking first dates do we need to go on? I always, when I go into a first date, I think to myself, maybe, just maybe this will be my last first date for a while, you know, because forever, I don't know what the fuck that means, right? Because only to me, forever is death. But for a while, at least, I do it because I don't want myself going to Disneyville because my mother was the producer and the director of Disneyville. My mother ruined me. She was you're going to find your soulmate one day. Mom, I'm fucking 5 years old. I just can't find my G.I. Joe right now. When I was 8 years old, I gave this girl stickers and the girl rejected me, and my mom says, you know what, she's not your soulmate. I said, Mom, I just really wanted to get a kiss. When I was 14 years old, I cried because Jennifer Beals didn't have a crush on me. Jennifer Beals Flashdance, right? You know, I was maybe 17 at the time, and I remember crying to my mom going, Mom, I wish Jennifer Beals, a girl like Jennifer Beals would like me. And my mom, being the fucking stoner that she was, she says, well, she's just not your soulmate. Mom, she's a fucking actress. She's not my soulmate. She's also this sick fantasy. You should realize I'm not working in fucking reality right now, and maybe you should get me to therapy because she's just an actress that I have a crush on. So we need to get out of Disneyville. We need to get out of Fantasyville, and we need to realize how simple it is to have a relationship. Give somebody a chance. That's my big thing. If you meet somebody and you're attracted to them and they smell really wonderful and they fucking look great, then give them a chance. And then maybe, just maybe, once you do have sex, you might have those 3 hours of sex. By the way, okay, we need to touch that. If you've enjoyed the podcast on the run, listen to the ocean, I'm glad you have. You know, this is just the way we roll. We were talking about sex today. What is up with orgasm counters?
Okay, so I was having a conversation with my girlfriends, and they said, oh, I had sex with my boyfriend twice last night. And I said, what does that actually mean? And she said, well, I had 2 orgasms and he had 2 orgasms. And so we had sex twice. And I stared at them.
I had 2 donuts and she had 2 donuts.
Right, like they're counting, she's literally counting orgasms. Like that was her success of like, her success rate of sex was how many orgasms she had and how many orgasms he had. And I literally looked at these women and I said, I can't tell you how many orgasms I had or how many orgasms he had in an experience with someone recently, because it's an ongoing experience. Because for me, it's not, I don't have a destination. I don't have I have to have this orgasm. For me, it's a whole process of opening the body and exploring and having fun and trying new things and doing whatever is exciting. And then orgasms come and go, and they're multi-body orgasms, and he might have an orgasm and he might not. And there's no rules to it. So it's more, my experience is more of the love-making process, and that's what interests me. And when I said this to my girlfriends, they had this look of like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I want it, because I've never had it.
You know what? We're going to bring you back on another podcast, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what I call the endless orgasm. Your friends have not had that?
No, most women have not had that.
I wonder why when I like hook up with a woman, okay, and all of a sudden I give her that experience because I'm good at that experience, they look at me and they go, I love you. And I'm thinking like, no. You don't love me. You just love what I've done to you for 3 hours, okay? I just released oxytocin at a level that you've never had it released ever before because you're used to Mr. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Mr. One Pump, right? Because that's what a lot of guys are. And a lot of guys, they do it. They just go down on a woman, they get a woman to come, and then they put their dick in, and they hold out just long enough for to have one orgasm. To me, it's like coming is like a ritual. It's like I don't need to come, and I can go down for 3 hours because to me, that is like the greatest thing in the entire world. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to bring you back. Where can they reach you?
ArianeAlexander.com. ARRIANE Alexander. ALEXANDER.com.
Really easy. Arriane Alexander, AA. Really for Alcoholics Anonymous, too. 10-minute daily reality check out. Tomorrow we're going to come back with sex. Dirty, naughty sex. Fantastic sex. The long orgasm. We're going to talk about Mr. One Pump Chump. And we're also going to talk about why you need to really give a woman an endless orgasm. Because I have been vagina envious my entire life. The minute I made a girl come for the very first time at 17, I thought to myself, holy shit, this is not what I experience. More. See you tomorrow in the reality check.